Welcome Insiders to Tech Inside, I'm your host Eric. Today we'll be taking a look at another IK multimedia microphone. This time it's the iRig Mic Studio. I've had a lot of IK Multimedia's products on this channel, and I want to clarify that anything I say about their products is completely what I believe. I'm not lying to you, they're not paying me to say anything. But with that said, I have reviewed a lot of their products, including a lot of their microphones. The most recent microphones I've reviewed from them is the iRig Voice and the iRig Mic HD. The voice microphone is pretty decent. It's on the lower end side, but it's also a fairly cheaper compared to a lot of other microphones, and it's a great beginner's microphone. The iRig Mic HD, on the other hand, is a little bit more expensive, around $100, and I absolutely love that microphone. I use it all the time on the channel, but now they also came out with their Mic Studio, and I'm interested to see how this actually holds up. Diving right into this microphone though, as soon as you open the box, you see this microphone and it looks great. I got the silver one, and just picking it up, it feels great in your hands. It's all made out of metal. But continuing to look at the box, there also is a little microphone stand for your desk, because this microphone definitely is not made to be handheld. There's also a little felt pouch so you can store the microphone so you don't have to worry about getting scratched or anything. And then there's the box of wires. There's a USB cable, an iOS cable, and a micro USB cable. This is going to allow you to plug the microphone into a computer, into an iOS device, whether that be an iPad, iPhone, or iPod Touch, or an Android phone. Quickly mentioning the microphone stand, it's all made out of metal. It seems pretty sturdy. Can't say too much about it. You just screw the microphone in and don't have to worry about it. But now jumping to the actual microphone itself, the studio microphone, like I said, is all made out of metal. It kind of has a very smooth and somewhat like shiny or glossy finish to it. So overall, it just looks pretty nice. I got the silver one. It's a rather compact microphone. If you compare it to like an Audio-Technica AT2020, you'll notice that this microphone is a lot smaller than that, which isn't a bad thing. It's honestly kind of nice. It's good for portability. Looking at the bottom of the microphone, that's obviously where the threads are, so you can screw the microphone into a mic stand. That also is where the USB port is, so you can plug your wires into the computer, into your iOS device. And to clarify, this microphone is not an XLR microphone. It's all digital. So looking at the front of the microphone, you're going to notice a few things. First, there's your gain knob. This is so you can adjust the sensitivity of the microphone. But then underneath of that is an LED indicator. This indicates whether the microphone is on or off. It also indicates how loud you're being. So if it's on the blue light, that means that you're probably being too quiet. If it's on the green light, that means that your voice or vocals or whatever are pretty good. You're at a pretty good volume. Going to yellow, that's okay, you might be pushing it a little bit, but then when you go to red, that means you're peaking, you're too loud, you need to turn the gain down. And underneath the LED light is a volume knob so you can adjust how loud your headphone jack's gonna be. And if you flip the microphone around to the back, you'll notice there's a headphone jack so you can monitor your audio. Now, I might not be a huge audio major, I might not know a whole lot about microphones and all that, but regardless, let's take a look at how this microphone actually sounds, because I don't care about the design at all if the microphone sounds like crap. So right now we're kind of in a studio environment. There isn't much background noise or anything, so the microphone should really just be picking up my voice. Right now I'm roughly 3 to 4 inches away from the studio microphone. But now, just for the heck of it, let's switch over to the iRig Mic HD and see how this microphone compares to the studio mic. Alright, so now I switched over to the iRig Mic HD. How is the microphone comparing to the studio mic? It's roughly the same gain, roughly around 50%, and it's also around 3 to 4 inches away from my mouth. Alright guys, so right this second, I'm outside. Sorry if the camera's a little bit out of focus. I'm using the Rode video mic right now, and you can hear there's tons of background noise happening, cars driving by, acorns dropping, etc. But now let's jump to the iRig Mic Studio, see how that sounds. Alright guys, so now I'm on the iRig Mic Studio. How is this sounding? The microphone is closer to me, so it should sound pretty good. It should also be eliminating some of the background sounds just because how close it is to me, and also just because of the actual microphone itself. Let me know how this sounds. Alright, so now I have the iRig Mic Studio in my hands. It's definitely not a handheld microphone, but why not? This microphone is not omnidirectional, meaning that it's not going to pick up sound from all around. It's only going to pick up the front, really, like 180 degrees in the front. So you'll notice that when I flip it around, you're not going to be hearing my voice as much, or you're not going to be hearing it as clearly as compared to when I flip it around. Also, something to notice is how is the handling when I'm moving the microphone around. Obviously, this is not a handheld microphone, but even if you're moving it around on a desk, how much is it going to be picking up? There's no like shock mount on this right now or anything, so you're probably hearing a lot when I'm moving it around, shaking it a bit. It's definitely not made to be moved around, but oh well. So the final test I kind of want to do is see how well this microphone does picking up sounds from far away. When I did the review of the iRig Mic HD, I mentioned how it's not that much of a sensitive microphone, and you can turn the gain up pretty much to pick up a lot of sound in the room, but that microphone is still designed to be more of like a dynamic microphone in the terms of you're supposed to be pretty close to the microphone. Now, with this studio microphone and all microphones, you obviously should be as close as possible to the microphones. But with this microphone, you can get away with putting it on your desk, turning up the gain, and you're gonna have pretty decent audio. Definitely way better than like my iPhone built-in microphone or any computer or webcam built-in microphone. Anyway, I'm gonna raise the gain now. I'm just gonna walk away and see how this sounds. Okay, so now I'm like, I don't know, 4 feet away from the microphone. You're gonna be hearing a decent amount. Let me back up though. Right now there's no cars, so that's obviously good. Now I'm probably roughly almost 10 feet away from the microphone, and now I'm gonna walk back up to it. Obviously you should never be that far away from the microphone, but I mean, I don't know, 4 feet or something at a desk, you could get away with it. Are you gonna be doing voiceovers and whatnot when you're that far from the microphone? No, you should never do that. But this microphone is a very capable microphone to put on your desk so you have better sounding audio. So there you go, that's how the iRig Mic Studio sounds. What do you guys think? In my opinion, I thought the iRig Mic Studio sounded pretty good. Again, I'm no huge audio major, but it sounded pretty decent. Highs, mids, lows, etc. The sound floor is on the lower side, so I didn't really hear much hiss or much static at all, no matter how much I really raised the gain. Now, when I compared this microphone to the iRig Mic HD, I did notice that the iRig Mic HD has a little bit more of the lower frequencies. It's a little bit more bassier, which I personally like for like radio stuff that I do, but for voiceovers and whatnot, I felt like the iRig Mic Studio definitely had a little bit more of a dynamic range. It picked up more parts of your voice, which I think is going to be pretty good for voiceovers in the future. You're also going to want a decent amount of dynamic range if you're recording like vocals, if you're singing into the microphone, and I felt like this microphone did a pretty good job. So overall, what do I really think of this microphone? Well, first to clarify, this is a $180 microphone. This is the most expensive microphone I have now, at least for like recording besides the Rode Video mic. And with that said, I think it's fully worth the $180. It has a really low noise floor. It overall sounds great, great dynamic range. So I'm really happy with it. Sounds great, build quality is great. But there's one thing I don't like about it, and that problem is this headphone jack. For some reason, if I plug this microphone into like my MacBook Pro and try to do a voiceover in Final Cut, it won't let me monitor audio with the headphone jack, and I don't understand why it does that. But what I do know is if I plug the microphone into like my iPhone and I'm recording with IK Multimedia's software, like the iRig Recorder app, then all of a sudden the headphone jack works. So I guess it's a software limitation. Maybe you can get some software to make it work on a computer. I don't know. It bothers me, but at the same time, that is in no way a make it or break it deal. The iRig Mic Studio still sounds great. It's compact. It's portable. Overall, I'm just pretty happy with it. This is probably going to be my main voiceover microphone now, and I'm going to be probably using the iRig Mic HD mostly for any radio stuff I do. Anyway, guys, that's the video for today. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about the iRig Mic Studio, let me know. If you need me to make any other videos about it, again, let me know. Anyway, guys, my name's Eric. This is Tech Inside. I'll see you in the next video.